to Loud Mom's Lair. I'm Tara.
And I'm Kristin. Starting this episode off, let's do our lovely check-ins. Tara, how's your week going?
So this week was okay. I would be lying if I said it was a perfect week, but there were definitely a couple, mental breakdowns. I think it was just an escalated moment of stress and anxiety with the whole move process. So we had weak moments this week, but overall, I would say it's been a pretty good week. We got the inspection done with this house. We're moving along, checking all the boxes to hopefully move out of this house and move into our next house. So yeah, it's been okay. Couple emotional moments. We're doing all right today. How was your week?
Good. That's so exciting. Oh, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to freaking see all the pictures and obviously come visit at some point.
Yeah.
Our week's been good. Braxton started his new daycare, so that's been really good. And he's been doing really well. I mean, yesterday he looked at us and was like, "Bye, Mom, bye, Dad," and like waved. So, all right, see you, kid. But I mean, other than that, it's been pretty good. I just got home not too long ago. My previous boss is moving to California, so we had kind of a little going away party for her. So I had 2 margaritas there, so I'm sorry if I'm, off the walls right now.
Never apologize for the extra drinks, ever.
Yeah. But
did you guys have fun at the going away?
It was good. I thought to myself, I probably shouldn't order this second margarita because once I say bye, I'm going to cry. And then she told me she was going to be in the office on Friday, which I'm actually going into the office on Friday.
Oh, good.
So I get to cry in the office on Friday instead.
It's fine because you got to enjoy another margarita and hang out with her a little bit longer.
Exactly. So it's been a good week so far. I can't complain.
Good. Well, before we get this started, so we wanted to announce to everyone that today marks 20 years, unfortunately, since our grandpa Lair's passing. And if it weren't for him, we wouldn't, number one, exist in the first place. And then also this podcast wouldn't have its name. He gave our moms this name. He gave us this name. So we wanted to do a good shout out to Grandpa Lair and a cheers to him. Like, he is a phenomenal, or was a phenomenal human being, and just a freaking rock star in the family. In addition to our Muggy, but Grandpa Lair was freaking amazing. So yeah, just wanted to shout out and just do a cheers to this kick-ass man. So cheers.
Cheers. All right. So diving right in. Last week we shared our journeys with potty training. And how it's going. This week we wanted to kind of rewind a little bit and share with everyone how we met our significant others and how long, we waited until we wanted to start our families. I think this is going to be a fun episode just because we both kind of went, I guess, a different way. You met yours out of the country. Yeah. I was engaged so fast to where, some people look back or in that moment probably said to us, hey, are you sure this is a good idea? Or, hey, is this really what you want?
Are you sure about this?
Right. How I met Austin, we were actually both living in Florida at the time. He had just moved there to go to school. But I actually have known, she's now my sister-in-law, but previously just Austin's sister-in-law for, I think it was 10 plus years before I even met Austin. So I don't even think I knew really Austin. Austin's younger than I am, which is which, yes, was / still is a very big surprise, I think, to a lot of people. I never was one.
How much younger?
Oh my God, you're gonna make me math. I don't even know how old I am.
Couple years?
Yeah, maybe 2.5.
Okay.
That's
not that bad.
No. But I mean, if you know me, I never dated really anybody younger than me. They were always older. So that was kind of a big transition. But so I knew now our sister-in-law before I even knew Austin. And she kind of let me know, that he was there. So, I got on Facebook and did the whole message thing of, hey, if you need anyone or you need anything, let me know. Well, that soon turned into, he wanted to, he needed something. So, yes, I was there for him. We just started hanging out. And it really just kind of like, it was natural. The feeling I think was mutual. We had a lot of fun together. And it just really went from there. I remember telling everyone that we were just friends. We were just friends. We weren't.
You like make it a point that you guys are only friends.
Yeah. And honestly, all right, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say it. 2 margaritas in, wine in, we're saying it.
Spill the tea, my dear.
I knew Austin's sister-in-law / now my sister-in-law because I actually dated her cousin for a very long time. So,
juicy.
But Austin and him are not cousins. So just if anybody hears that, they're not related in any way.
So all I heard is that you dated his family.
Right. Exactly. Everybody heard that. So I would always tell everybody that we were just friends. I don't know if it made it more of a, I don't need the drama, of somebody sitting here saying, oh, she's dating my cousin, blah, blah, blah. I mean, not the truth at all. But yeah, you kind of look back now and you're like, who fucking cares if I was dating your cousin? Right. Like, piss off. But anyway,
right.
That wasn't the
big
case.
Deal when you're younger, though.
Yeah. So Austin and we did not move in together, I think, until after we got engaged, honestly. And
before the move-in, what was like the first thing that attracted you to Austin? And guys, I did not tell her I was going to ask her these questions, so I'm putting her on the spot right now.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's kind of funny and kind of weird, and people are probably going to be like, what the frick is going on with this girl tonight? One, he was really just like super chill, honestly. It's really funny because he always says that he is such a quiet person, and between us, yes, I am the more outgoing and talkative and don't shut up person. But yes. But I mean, he wasn't really like that, with me at all. So he was a really chill person. He, listened to me. He spoke back. I didn't really have to like pry information out of him. Yeah. The weird thing is, and I remember telling his mom this, the kid smelled so freaking good. And it wasn't cologne. Like, it was just his body that, like, I don't know if it was like his body sweat or heat or what, but holy shit, it was like he just came out of the laundry.
Oh my God. Just his body odor.
I mean, hey, it was like clean.
Maybe did he have like a cologne that was like fresh linen scent?
Maybe, but if it was, holy hell.
It worked.
It was nice.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, it really just like clicked right away. It was pretty much like we just became best friends right off the bat, Right.
So then you guys moved in together.
No, I think we got engaged first. because I was living with who I called like my little sister at the time. She was one of my best friends. And I was living with her, and we went back to Michigan/Ohio, where we're from. I'm from Ohio, he's from Michigan. So we, went back. His brother and sister-in-law were moving to Hawaii, and so they were having a going away party for her. And the next thing I know, I'm getting asked if I want to marry him at this going away party.
Well, okay, so how did he do it? The proposal, everyone, okay?
Yes. And this is going to be terrible because it's not like I blacked it out of my memory, but I was in so shock that sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I don't even freaking remember how this happened.
Yeah.
So, my sister-in-law and brother-in-law were moving away, and then Austin and my sister-in-law's sister were giving kind of like speeches, like going away speeches. Mm-hmm. And he kind of put it in that with like new adventures. And then he just asked me. And apparently it took me forever to answer him, that people were really? Literally like, are you going to answer?
They're like nudging you.
Yeah. Well, and I remember my parents, they were there. So they already knew. Austin had already asked, my dad. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting with my parents and they're like, aren't you going to go up there with him? Like, he doesn't like to speak in public, aren't you going to sit with him? And I said, no, I'm sitting with you guys. It's fine. Like, he can deal with it. I don't know how they got me up there, but they did.
Like, you're not reading between the lines.
I had no idea. And it's so funny. You think I would have gotten like some kind of hint, not just from that, but earlier in the day, everybody was getting ready at Austin's parents' house when they lived in Michigan. And I wasn't ready, and I had my hair on top of my head like I always do. And I think somebody asked me,
are you going to picture the messy bun?
Yeah. And I think somebody asked me, like, are you going to wear your hair like that? And I was like, no, I'm not done. Like, I'm not done getting ready. And, right. So like little things now I look back and I probably should have picked up on a little something was going on, right. But I didn't. I had no idea. And it took me a while to answer, but I eventually said yes. And it was fast. It was only, I think, like 7 or 8 months. And to a lot of people,
so fast.
Yeah, a lot of people, I mean, even to me still, it is so fast, And I would have, yeah. And I would have never growing up thought that I would go down a path like that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. There's a lot of people who do it and who have relationships last. And I think that's the biggest thing. Everybody wants that to last, right?
Right.
So who cares? And like you said, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest worry was, I think telling my brother. I didn't want to tell him. My mom always tells a story.
Why?
Well, my mom always tells a story and says, you wanted to call your best friend first before even calling your brother. Well, I think in my mind, yes. My brother has always been a person who I have always been able to call for anything. He's been my best friend,
Your
through anything.
In crime throughout life.
Yeah. And I think calling him after it being such a short time and him just hearing the words, are you sure? Or is this really what you want? That's kind of maybe what really stopped me, because I didn't want to hear that, especially from him. Or I didn't want him to go on and say, this isn't a good idea, or, something like that. So I ended up calling him and it was fine. He did. He said, are you sure this is what you want? I mean, yeah, it was.
Right.
So,
damn straight.
Yeah. It wasn't, anything like meeting somebody in freaking Puerto Rico.
Okay, first of all. Wait, okay, so before we dive into international,
Okay.
Okay, so How long were you engaged prior to getting married?
Oh God, that was a long time. I'm pretty sure. What year
So
is
you
it?
made up for the 7 months of dating.
Exactly. I think we
Yeah.
were engaged for like 2.5, 3 years before we even got married. It was
Wow.
a long time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. We'll get into how fast mine was.
And I think that's what kind of ours was a little bit of the
Yeah.
opposite. Your guys' is,
Right.
yeah, was so
Like
fast.
we were able to build the friendship like during the dating phase, and you guys built the friendship during the engagement phase.
Right, right.
Well, kind of both actually.
Mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm.
2 months is not, it's short. It's not long, but it's not short, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we
And
knew
then,
each other and we felt that it was, you know, right. And
yeah.
we did it.
Yeah. And you guys are best friends.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Which is needed in a relationship. Like you need,
Absolutely.
I mean, you also need other best friends,
Mm-hmm.
right? I need like a girl best friend.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, a friendship is such a huge foundation in a relationship, right?
it is. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Well, that's a beautiful story.
Thank you. I can't wait
Yeah.
to hear your international story.
Okay, so what happened was, and let me preface this with there are two sides to this story, and I will only say my story because it's the only one that exists in my head.
I don't think I've heard the other side, so
There, yeah. There's two sides to this whole story, and I will tell you mine because that's all that matters in this podcast. I love you, babe, but my story is the right story. So I okay, back to what 2010 or whatnot. So I transferred schools. I was in a sorority Tri Delta when I first went to University of Toledo, and then I transferred to Kent State University for a semester because hashtag I wanted to try out a hobby as a degree, and it was not the right decision. But so then I transferred back to Toledo the spring semester of 2010, and I rejoined the sorority, and like 7 or 8 of my sorority sisters were going down to Puerto Rico to stay at one of my sister's dad's condo. So, long story short, we fly to Puerto Rico and we stay in a nice little town called Rincon, Puerto Rico, and we're just girls on spring break, right? Like we wanted to have a good time. We had a goal in mind, which was to drink because it was legal to drink in Puerto Rico at the
get
age we were at.
wasted every night.
Right. Like
Day drink.
and not worry about being caught, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, literally, so fortunately we had a driver allocated to us like throughout the trip, which was
Oh
wonderful.
my God,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I wish I had that type of money.
I wish I had a driver every day. Hell yeah.
Right? Right. But no, they were absolutely wonderful. And they took us to the grocery store prior to even getting to the condo just to load up on like booze. And it was
What?
it was needed because and it was rum was such a big thing there.
Right.
So we just got all of the Bacardi, all of whatever other rum was a hot topic there. And then everything else you can think of. So I think it was our second night out. We were pre-gaming and we went to this bar. Was it Casa Verde, I think it was. And it was basically like there was a hotel on the bottom and then on top was like a tiki bar. And that's where we went. And we were, girls were trying to have fun. So we were just trying to drink a lot and dance and just feel the vibe of the bar, right? And we're in this tropical place and it was just beautiful scenery, beautiful people, whatever. Um, I so bad. This will be like the PG version. Okay, so I was going up to get a beverage at the bar, and there was this heftier gentleman at the bar who was wearing like this cutoff tank top, right? And when I say heftier, I mean like 3 to 4 times the size of a normal human being. And I'm not ragging on that by any means, but it'll make sense in a second. So he's wearing a cutoff tank. Obviously, he had breasts to show off, if you will. And I was going to order, and he's like, "Oh, what are you drinking?" And I was like, I don't know what I'm drinking. I'm just trying to order a drink because I'm a dumb college girl who doesn't know what she drinks yet. Just give me something with alcohol.
Right.
And he started, trying to chat me up, and he's like, he starts saying like, talking about like my boobs, and he's like, "Well, I'll show you mine if you show me yours." And I was like,
Oh my God.
and I was like, "Excuse you?" I First of all, I see half of them already because you're wearing a cutoff tank top.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, if you want to go that route, because I knew he was inebriated, like he was half gone. And I was like, if you can tell me my first name, like, show you one. and,
Yeah.
and he was like, like stumbling over his words. And he couldn't think of it. And all of a sudden, this dude behind, oh, by the way, this gentleman's name was Chris, and I called him Nipple Chris the rest of the trip.
Oh my God. Nipple
So
Chris, if you're out
yeah,
there, please reach out
I
to us.
remember you. Yeah, and so this dude behind Nipple Chris was like, her name's Tara, and me, half drunk and just smitten on this answer. I turn
Ugh.
around, and here's this, tall, dark, and handsome gentleman sitting on the railing of the bar, and I was like, "Did you know?"
Oh my God. Yeah. How did he know your name?
I don't know whether to be like creeped out or just like, oh my goodness.
Right.
And so half of my thought was like, he's stalking me, and like, how does he know my name? And then the other half is like, this is adorable, and he was actually listening, but wait, was he part of the conversation? Whatever, it worked. And so I quickly vectored conversation to him, and it was Matt, obviously. And we just kind of like started talking throughout the night, and we kept getting drinks with each other. We went downstairs to smoke, which I didn't smoke at that time, but he did. And so he was like, "Oh, do you smoke?" I was like, "Yes."
The drinks are flowing too. Sometimes you just need that.
The drinks are flowing, there's zero filter. Like, if he asked me to smoke, yes, I do.
You're cute, man. So yeah, I smoke.
Yep. So this is kind of where like the version of the story somewhat splits. Multiple adult beverages in, by the way. And so we're like, I'm trying to smoke a cigarette. And so I
Have
like,
you ever smoked before this time?
oh, probably. I mean,
Okay.
it's college, right? Like, we go out
Yeah.
to a bar, you get drunk, and you say you smoke, and you have a puff of a cigarette, right? Like,
Yes. Okay.
probably didn't know how to inhale a cigarette at this point. And so what I think I did is I took like a puff. I'm going to say puff because let's be honest, I was not inhaling anything. I took a puff of the cigarette, and I went to like, I thought I was being cute, but like drunkenly cute. And I like blew the smoke in his face, and I ended up headbutting him.
Oh my God.
And he says that I went in for a kiss. And
Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying I headbutted him, but whatever.
Okay.
Fast forward through that night, we hit it off. We were still talking, and we were grabbing drinks, and we went to back to the bar. And the bartender asked, like, "Oh, what do you guys want to drink?" Thinking it would be like a nice beverage, a nice name, like signature cocktail,
Oh God.
whatever.
Yeah. Oh no.
He says, "I'll take 2 gas chambers."
Okay. Yes.
First, what's your cocktail named that? Second, why is that your drink of choice?
Okay. Do you remember what's in that?
No, it was awful. All I remember is it was horrible. It lived up to its name. And like, we both hated the drink. Like, I think he just didn't know what to order, so he just like called out the first name that he saw on the menu, And which is fair.
Yeah.
So anyways, we were chatting at the bar, and like by this time, my sorority sisters already went back to the condo. Like, it is late at night.
No,
And
number one rule, sorority sisters, don't leave a fellow behind.
in their defense, they tried to get me to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
And I
was
was
just,
like, that's kind of good.
that was my next question. Or did they try and get you and you decided you wanted to stay?
The attempt was there. I
Okay.
quickly denied it because I was drinking a gas chamber.
Okay. I reversed my statement.
I was obviously in safe hands.
Right. Stranger, gas chambers,
Right.
smoking a
Oh,
cigarette.
God. Trying to. So anyway, the night continued. He asked. I'm gonna say this because it was a good line for him. But he asked, he's like, "Do you like a man in uniform?" And my response was, "Yes." It's like, where, I mean, Toledo, you don't really hear a lot about military. You see it in the
No.
movies. Like, I mean, both of my grandparents were
Right.
like Marines and whatnot, but like that I was very unfamiliar with
Yeah.
military. So
Right.
of course I loved a man in uniform.
Who
And so then
doesn't?
he mentioned he was on like R&R from his first deployment. And I was like, oh. Anyway, the night continued. Smitten. Night continued for the next few hours, right? And then we went our separate ways, and then we just like we exchanged numbers so we could keep in contact. So we decided the next day to him and his army buddy would come over to the condo and pregame with us, and then we would go out to the bars together.
Yeah.
And so that night happened. Like, we had a great time, drank enough to last us the rest of the week. And he was actually shipping back out in like a day after that. And so and he still had like 9 months left on his tour. So I was like, well, this sucks. Like, is this
Yeah.
just a spring break fling,
Right.
like, who knows? It's just a random dude I met in Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, we ended up FaceTiming that next day, and then while he was at the airport, and we kept in contact literally for the next 9 months. And throughout that 9 months, we ended up starting to date officially.
Hmm.
And we just kind of really built a foundational friendship. And I mean, we talked for hours on end. When he wasn't on duty, we were on the phone, we were Skyping. When like I mean, there were good times, there were hard times. Like, I mean, it sucked, obviously, from a fresh relationship, right? Like,
Right.
you're halfway around the world,
Well,
and
and just like you
starting
said
to grow.
too, you really didn't know a whole lot about, the military or anything.
Oh
So
yeah, it was
going
so
right
unfamiliar,
into, a relationship like that, where
right?
he's
Right.
gone.
Right. And then, you hear deployment, you hear scary things, and it's like, it just is what it is, unfortunately. But, those 9 months, we were able to build such a strong bond. And so I know this is such a long story. So he came back from deployment, and I flew down for our first like official weekend together.
Mhm.
And that was our first official date. And it was so weird because it was like we just talked for 9 months and we're
Right.
already dating, but we've never even been on a date.
Right.
And so yeah, we spent the weekend in Kansas City, and it was just fast forward what we were dating for 2 years. 2 years. So that includes the deployment time that we
Mhm.
started dating. But I was still in college. I was trying to finish it up. He was down in Kansas, stationed at Fort Riley. And um, we did the distance because I obviously wanted to finish my degree because I didn't have that much longer left. And um, I I pressured him a lot to get engaged. And I was like, finger, and I was that dumb young girl who was like mandating a ring on my finger, which was not fair. But in the moment, I was just like, give me the ring.
Right.
Like, we've been together 2 years. I'm ending college. Like, I need a plan because I
Yeah.
like plans. And so how we got engaged after pressuring him enough.
You're stealing all my questions. I have to cross them off my list.
Oh, what
Good.
questions do you have? Interrupt me.
No, you're good. I had where was he stationed? So
Oh,
you gave
yeah.
us that. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then how you got engaged. So cross off.
Yeah, this is just a story that takes 4 hours. Buckle up, everyone.
I also have gas chamber drink on my notes so I can look up what was in it.
Oh, yeah, and I think it was just one of those like a drink of the day type thing, but it might exist. I mean, I'm sure it does. Anyway, so I was a couple months away from graduation.
Mhm.
Yeah, a couple months. And I was flying down to Kansas, and I was like, this engagement's got to happen. Like, time's a ticking. And so we talked about it, and we kind of knew it was already going to happen, right? Like, it wasn't a surprise, but how it was going to happen was the surprise.
Right.
And so I flew in, and unfortunately, my flights got so delayed that I was supposed to get there like during daylight, and I got there during dark.
Yeah.
And so like his plan would didn't work the same as it would have during the day. And so we went out to dinner, and I was like, I still want you to do like whatever you were planning on doing. I want to see like what your plan was, you know. I don't care if it's pitch black outside. Like I just want to see what thought you put into this, you know. And it was really beautiful. So he took me out to a nice steak dinner, and like we're young, like it was an expensive place, and it was
Oh, yeah.
bougie for our age, and like I really appreciated the fine dining, you know. And
It's still
then
good.
it's so good. Yeah. And then he took me to the highest point in the area we were at, which overlooked like some of the hills and cliffs and whatnot in Manhattan, Kansas. And it was kind of like I don't want to call it cliff is exaggerating, but like a cliff for that area.
Right.
And it overlooked like the plains and everything. And it was really a beautiful scene. And there's like an area that is set up for tourists to look at. And he took me there, and you know, he said all of his things, and he asked me to marry him, and I was like, fuck yes. Like I was like 2 years for this. So fun fact, we got engaged, we celebrated that night, and we actually got married. I think it was like 2 days later, the next day or 2 days later. So we did a courthouse wedding, which if anyone listening is military, they probably have heard of this like quite often, but a lot of couples will do a courthouse wedding prior to like the celebratory bigger wedding or ceremonial wedding, just to get like paperwork out of the way and legalities out of the way.
Right.
But yeah, so we did the courthouse wedding. We had our little witnesses, and then we did our big wedding. I say big. It was not that big. We did our wedding a few months later, so right after my graduation. And up to this day, we still have yet to live together, by the way. Like we did not
Right.
test out
Okay.
living together, like nothing at all. So we
Mhm.
were distanced up through our courthouse wedding up to our ceremonial wedding. And it was super small. I mean, it was in our like family church that we grew up in, and we were broke, so we didn't have like much money to make it super embellished and extravagant, if you
You
will.
don't need that though. I mean,
No, we had a freaking blast. And like we had a party bus that was literally called the Crawdaddy Express.
oh my God, yes.
It was so, I don't want to call it trashy, but it was not trashy.
That's freaking
and
awesome.
it was wonderful. And like everyone was chugging beer. Like it was such a good time. And then
Why do you not have a picture of that name? Are you standing in front of that name?
oh, we do.
I was going to say, there's no way your sister does not have a photo of that.
Well, speaking of my sister, she's the one who rented the bus.
Oh!
And
Okay, makes so much more sense.
so she freaking rented it from her work at Nick and Jimmy's.
Oh yeah, though we love some Nick and Jimmy's. Anybody ever in Ohio or Michigan Hit up Nick and Jimmy's.
Monroe Street, everyone.
So fucking good.
So good. So yeah, we rented the bus, or she rented the bus, sorry. And yeah, we just had a freaking party at the wedding. Like it was a freaking blast. We didn't care. We were all like drunk, and I did the worm in my dress, and it is what it is. So
Tara's signature move, everyone. Oh my God. And it's so freaking good.
It is my signature move. And it's like, but that is also the moment where it's like Tara's cut off. As soon as the worm breaks out, she's done. Like, yeah, people know it. It happens. It is what it is.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so the day after, so, we're up till like 3, 4 a.m. and we drive back to my parents' house in the morning, which is where our loaded U-Haul was waiting for us to drive a 24-hour trip back to Kansas. And I say 24 hours because we can't max or we have to max at like 55 miles an hour because we're towing a car, we have a big truck. Yeah.
Oh.
And so we are hungover. Like, it is a struggle bus, and here we are driving 24 hours back to Kansas.
Because freaking God, you did this the day after your wedding?
Yes.
Are you nuts?
It was the worst. I don't recommend to anyone. I love the way it turned out, but don't recommend everyone. Yeah, so that is how we met and got married.
Do you remember?
Probably not. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you will. So everyone listening, you obviously all know how close Tara and I are and have been. And we were not in each other's weddings. And it's not because we didn't want each other.
We hate each other.
There. Yes. Secretly.
Right.
We didn't want that. No. It was, so Tara's wedding, I was living in Florida, and I'm pretty sure I was probably serving, bartending. I was working like 3 freaking jobs, and nobody knew
if you would be in town.
Right. My wedding, you, I think, may have been deployed, or you weren't sure if you were gonna be able to come home for it.
Yeah, so I was freshly in the military, and because what year did you guys get married again? 2017. 17? Okay, so I was like right out of training, and we were so I was finishing up training. I just got to my new squadron because it was in the summer, right? Yeah. And I just got to my new squadron, and I was prepping for a deployment, and I had no idea if my commander would like approve the leave. And so I told Chrissy, I was like, I can't commit to anything because like I don't want to say yes and guarantee the spot in her wedding or take someone else's position and then my leave get denied.
Right.
And I remember with my wedding, it was small already, but like I had no idea if you would be able to be in town. And I was like, okay, like obviously my sister's gonna be my maid of honor because she's my sister, and then I was like, well, I guess I'll just have like one bridesmaid, So I had my best friend Morgan, and because I didn't know if you would be in town too, because obviously you would have been in my wedding if I knew for sure.
Yeah. And I surprised you, I think, a couple days before. I think it was like in your parents' house, hiding behind a chair or something.
I think it was so Friday was like the rehearsal dinner, and we had a big cookout at the house.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it was like either the day before that or in that right before the event kicked. I don't remember. All I know is that you did surprise me, and it was the fucking most phenomenal thing. And I'm pretty sure I cried. If I didn't, I cried inside.
We've both cried, honestly. We cry all the time.
Yeah. And like it was one of those moments like I would have killed to have you in the wedding, and it's like, but we just didn't know.
Right.
And it just sucks. It's like I would have loved to have you by my side the moment I was marrying my best friend. And I know you feel the same way.
Yeah.
I hope you feel the same way.
Absolutely. No.
You didn't know I was coming.
Yeah, you weren't sure. You weren't sure. And I remember you saying, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, so I don't want you to, hold that spot. Well, I did. I held that spot. just in case, if
Yeah.
months before or whatever, you were like, oh, guess what? I'm, coming in town, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Guess what? Here's your spot. Here's your dress.
Mhm.
So I did. Austin had one more groomsman. So it was kind of cute, It was like,
You're
here,
right. Right.
here's my girl's little spot. It's for
Right.
her. But
Yeah,
yeah,
because
I
I
mean,
think I didn't even buy my ticket until like literally like a week before the wedding. It was
yeah.
like a week or two before the wedding because I remember it was so last minute because I was like texting my mom and your mom about it. I was
Mhm.
like, I just got approved. Like I am
Yeah.
coming. Like I don't care. Like I'm going to the mall right now to get a dress.
And I think
Obviously, I can't be in
honestly,
the wedding, but
right. And that's really all that matters. I mean, we were
Mhm.
both there and we were both able to be there and
Yeah,
watch, each other marry the person they want to be with. And we'll post the pictures of, I
yeah.
have the photo that was taken of me and you at your wedding,
And I
and
have the one up at yours.
yes.
Yeah.
So we'll post those and they're so cute. And we kind of try and do like the same pose, I
Yes.
think.
Yeah. Yes.
Um Oh my God. But no, so it was really cool. It sucks that we weren't able to be in it because hell, I wanted to fucking be on that cool trashy party bus.
Yeah, I know. And people, if you're wondering, like, well, why didn't you take her on the bus? Like, anyway, it was a tiny bus, and when I say the Crawdaddy Express, it was the express of the expresses, and there were like 6 seats.
And I
So
I don't even I think we just all like you guys got on the bus and that was it. I don't even think it was,
we were late to our reception. Like,
yeah, what the
I
hell?
I remember my mom texted and was like, "Everyone is hungry. We told them just to start eating without you."
Oh my
Because
God.
like we went, I mean, when I say it was a party on the bus, it really was. And we went downtown to Alito, which was a good 20 minutes away from
Yeah.
the reception, like Maple Grove Golf
Mhm.
Course. And
Holla.
holla, hey Aunt Karen.
Maple
Um,
Grove is literally the best for any type of freaking
it is the
party.
hometown hero. But yeah, so in between the ceremony and the reception, we went downtown by the river, so like by the casino area.
Mhm.
And I mean, we lost track of so much time. And like we were hitting ATMs. I was hitting an ATM in my freaking dress. And like it was literally us like running outside of the bus and like going to the ATM and
To
getting
go
cash out.
gamble?
No, no, it was to leave a tip to the bus driver because I was
Okay.
22 years old and I had no idea I had to plan for this in advance.
Yo, your sister
Fine.
should have let you know you were getting on a freaking trashy party bus and you needed a tip. No, just kidding. I love you, man.
I just thought it was already included. And but a couple drinks were flowing
She
and
worked at
everything.
Nick and Jimmy. She could only afford so much.
Well, and she might have tipped also, but like me
Ooh,
a
he got
few
double.
drinks in. And when I
Yeah.
say a few drinks, like we were several drinks in
You want to
and
buy like the whole entire bar around whenever you're. Yeah, I do this too.
I
Everybody,
yeah,
shots on me.
yes, I wanted to pay this bus driver's rent. Like I best friends with him. But no, it was a freaking blast. But yeah, I genuinely wish you were a part of the wedding. Like if I could do it
Mhm.
all over again, I would
Oh,
just say like, I'm
I agree.
saving this spot. You tell me when.
I
And
agree. I agree.
yeah, but
But I
it
mean,
worked out.
regardless, we had fun.
Yeah.
We both got to, marry the one pop open that bottle. Um, yeah, I got married at Mommy Bay, which is in
It
Mommy,
was
Ohio.
beautiful. It
Mhm.
was
I'm
beautiful.
I'm a water beach gal. Um, so I got to get married outside, right on the water. Um, and my biggest thing was I loved our photographer. He actually was a fireman with my dad. And
Shout out.
uh, yeah, yeah. But in that time, I was like, oh, fuck, like let's just stop taking pictures. I just want to freaking go drink or something, like please.
Right. Right.
And when I was getting ready to walk down the aisle, I had to walk down those steps. Do you remember? They were
I do.
like
I do.
steep, big
Yeah.
steps from the top. And
Because
I
I literally
remember,
snuck. so sorry to cut you off. I literally snuck upstairs, so on the second floor, while you and all the bridesmaids were lining up, and I was like, I just need to say
Oh
hi
my
to
God,
you.
I remember that. And I
Yes,
felt like
'cause
such a
I
bitch
didn't.
afterwards because I was
No,
like, oh my God, I was so rude to her because
no, no. So we didn't see each other prior to that.
yes, right,
So
right.
that was the first time. And like, shame on me. Like, you're about to walk down the aisle. Like, I should not have done that. But I
No,
was
maybe I
so
needed that. It was okay.
excited. I was so excited for you. And I wanted to just say, like, good luck and I love you. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you, you know? And I was like, move out of the
I'm here. I'm here.
I know. And
But
like,
you know what I
think
should have did?
Allie did a good job because she was like, are you okay? Time to go.
I
know it
literally
takes a place of love.
should have been like, all right, I don't care what dress you're wearing. Here, just stand right here. I don't know why the hell I didn't do
No.
that. Oh my God.
No, shut up. Get
Let's go
out of
back
here.
and redo it all.
Stop.
But so I had to walk down those steep steps.
Yeah.
And I remember standing, she was like the event coordinator, and I was standing up there with her. And
You
she's
had
like,
an event coordinator?
well, she was part of like Mommy Bay.
Was she?
No, I didn't specifically have one. She
I'll
just was
just
like,
stick on my Crawdaddy Express.
man, do they got those kind of party buses out here? I'm gonna look that up. Crawdaddy Express. I'm writing it down.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, event coordinator.
And she's like, are you okay? Like, do you need anything? And one, not that it was big, but I don't like heights. And I specifically
Yeah.
wore flats because I knew I had to walk down those steps.
Mhm.
And I knew my ass was gonna bust it if I wore heels. So I was like, no, I don't think I need anything. But then I looked at her and I was like, these waters on these tables, are they good? Like, can I take one? And I took one, I chugged it. I wish it was like vodka or something, but
Oh. Wait,
I
did
don't
you
know
have
why I was so
anything to
nervous.
drink prior to walking down the aisle?
Yeah, so
You're like,
so
yes,
you
I
know,
did.
you're getting ready, and
Yeah.
obviously there's always like champagne or mimosas or
No,
something
there
like that.
isn't always that.
Oh,
No.
well, you missed out.
We
Anyway,
snuck it.
um my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, actually, I think she like I had the champagne bottle and I like put a little and she's like, no. She like opened it and she like made me like chug it. She's like, drink
Oh,
this.
that's awesome. She knew. She knew.
Yes, she knew. And it's so
Mhm.
funny as I don't know. I know people get so nervous and I don't know why. You know, I don't know. Is it like,
Drink before?
no, people just get so nervous about walking down the aisle
I
and
was
getting
sweating.
married. I wanted to puke.
I'm like, why?
I know, and
You
it's
know,
funny because
like,
you look back now and it really is, it's just a piece of paper. You literally have been with this
yeah,
person, forever how long,
right.
and you love them, you know what you want to be with them, and it
Mhm.
really is a piece of paper. Is it
The
just
wedding is really for other people.
exactly.
Yes.
Everybody, every time somebody gets invited to a wedding, it's, oh, I can't wait for the reception.
Because it's the party. It is the party.
I mean, shit, I know I do that. I'm like, hell,
Mhm.
what time is
Like,
this
what
reception?
kind of food?
Is
When's
it an
cocktail
open
hour?
bar?
How long is the ceremony?
We
We're not
have
be Catholic.
we have a wedding in April, and I'm like, okay, your wedding's at 2. Does that mean you're waiting
Reception's at
until like,
2:30.
yeah, are we waiting until like 4:30 for the
Right.
reception?
Is it
Or
Catholic?
no, 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 no.
You just
So,
avoid those ones.
oh, I've been one of my best guy friends had a Catholic wedding and love him dearly. Thanks, Austin. Um,
Hey, what a gem. Tell him I say hi.
okay, Tara says hi. He's waving. So yes, and one of
Text him to bring that bottle.
I did.
I freaking love this.
I'm either writing in my notes or texting my husband to bring me more alcohol.
Oh, I freaking love it.
So anyway, I mean, I'm Catholic, so I'm not gonna say anything, bad about that, but they are so
Oh,
long.
I'm not saying bad about
Right.
anything. I am, well, yes, I am. The length of service
They're
is the
so
only thing
long.
I'm
And if
saying.
you're in a church that doesn't have like AC or anything, so one of my best guy friends, he got married in this beautiful old church by my high school. But oh my God, they didn't have AC, and holy hell, it was so freaking hot in there. And then being like an hour, hour and a half long,
Yeah,
however long they
that's
are.
rough.
No, I was like, listen, we're outside. It may or may not be hot. It's in June. Guess what? My wedding is going to be 5 to 10 minutes long. And that's it.
Right. Oh, no, your wedding was absolutely beautiful. I remember like sitting in the chairs and Aunt Kelly was behind us and I remember she snapped a photo of Matt and I was like, "Okay, you creep." But I remember seeing you walk down and I literally sobbed and it was just like it was the most beautiful wedding ever.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you have any, besides not being able to have each other in our weddings, do you have any regrets or any other regrets?
Um, yes. Oh, actually, yeah. Sorry. I was gonna say no, but um I wish we would have spent more money on photos.
Okay.
Like I appreciate the woman who did our photos because she was cheap and we needed cheap at that point because we were broke. But like I wish I would have went in debt for better photos and or a videographer or like whatever. Because videographers, I don't know how long they've been around for, but like I know they started popping later,
Yeah.
like after our wedding.
Right.
So they weren't a huge thing during our wedding. Don't quote me. They didn't seem like they were a big thing during our
Yeah.
wedding. And so we had a photographer and I appreciate the fact that she got photos and it
Right.
was last minute and it was for very cheap price, but we got zero edited photos. We got um they just weren't good. Like I
Yeah.
could take better photos on my iPhone and I hate to say that out loud, but like
Right.
I wish I would have actually spent I wish I would have put it on my damn credit card at that point and like
Yeah.
paid someone to give us quality photos
Yeah.
because I'm pretty positive I actually use our cell phone photos over anything these days. Um, but it is what it is. I don't know. What
Yeah.
about
Just, I
you?
mean, you got good photos. I was stalking through your Facebook the other night looking for, I think, a photo of us or a something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, and I seen all your wedding photos, and I'm so happy we're doing this episode right now because it
Right.
just brought everything back. Um,
Yeah.
yes, one thing is not that my hairdresser or hairstylist did anything wrong because she didn't. She's great. I
Yeah.
love her. She's been, in our family for a long time. I personally wish that I would have gone with a different style. I wish
Yeah.
I would have had
Just
it.
for like your
Yeah.
hairstyle and everything.
I wish
Yeah.
I would have had it either down or like more hair out rather
Yeah.
than, kind of, it wasn't slicked back. I mean, it was but
Right.
so something like that. I didn't wear a veil. I never wanted to wear a veil. So my sister-in-law, she's a
You did it
designer.
kind of
She
like a
made
headpiece, right?
Yeah, she made my headpiece. So I kind of wish I would have like put it down a little bit more so you could that the
Okay.
headpiece would really pop more. Um,
Yeah. No, I remember that the hairpiece, headpiece, whatever you call it. But like I remember it was beautiful.
I still have it. I love it. I
It was
wish I could wear
beautiful.
it all the time.
I went the veil route and it went like because it was I had a like a low bun on the bottom and
Mhm.
then the veil like went underneath the bun and that shit came out as soon as the ceremony was done
Oh
because
yeah.
uh, like I mean it kept getting pulled out and I was just like
Yeah.
I don't have time for this. I am like let's
Yeah.
crack open a beer. Yeah.
How how was it with okay, so you and Matt met in Puerto Rico,
Yep.
and then he was stationed elsewhere, he was
Mhm.
deployed. So Did you know really any of his friends, like his best man? Did you know him kind of ahead of time? How was that with him giving, the speech as how your sister gave the speech, because obviously you know your sister.
Yeah. First off, with my sister, God love her. She did a Dear Diary version of the
Oh my
speech.
God, that was so fun.
And
do you think she has that somewhere? We have got to get that so we can post it somewhere.
Yeah, I can ask her.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
It was intense because like, okay, let's break this down. So she did a version of the speech that was in Dear Diary format. And it wasn't her diary. It was my diary.
Yes. Yep.
And it was all of the things I did bad in my life. And she's talking about things like in my college days that I was not very proud of. And I look over at like Matt's grandparents and I just feel so sad for them. And I'm just like, I'm trying to like apologize to them because they had no idea that like this is the girl that Matt just married.
I'm not Satan, I swear.
Like, I swear I'm good. But no, I will have to ask her if she has a copy of that speech because it was really funny. But I did
The
feel
only
bad
part
for the
I
older crowd.
remember that I think is so funny, and then I punched her in the face.
What was that part?
I don't know. Or she punched me in the face. One of them. Somebody punched somebody in the face.
Oh, it was probably our bitch slap night. We were in the laundry room and my mom was sitting on the ground in front of the dryer and she was folding laundry like she did. And yes, Mom, I am getting into this right now. And so Megan
Your
and
mom
I
let you punch your sister in the face?
Okay, first off, it wasn't a punch, so let's clear that up right now. But she's on the ground and she's mom is on the ground like crisscross applesauce and like folding clothes on her legs and whatnot right in front of the dryer. Megan's on her left side. I'm on her right side. So Megan's kind of like going into the landing. I'm like out in the kitchen, and mom's in the middle. And Megan was saying something that just pissed me off. And I was at the age where I'm like, I'm standing up for myself.
Yeah.
So I did stand up for myself. And Megan slapped me in the face because I stood up to her. And I was like, do it again.
You were probably taller than her at this point too. So she probably was
I think we were about the same height at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I did surpass her, everyone.
Don't worry, guys. She surpassed me a long time ago too.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like what she was talking about is the slap fest in the laundry room because that is an epic moment of our childhood. Is the moment I stood up to her, whap.
She better have that speech because I want to post this. It was so freaking funny. Anyway,
so good.
So back to Matt's best man.
Oh yeah, so I met him. We actually stayed.
Wow, you're done with that bottle. Good thing Austin got me a big old one.
There wasn't much left, everyone. Yes, there was.
We have toddlers, okay?
Yeah, they are sleeping. So I met his best man, Smitty. He's a fucking character. I freaking love him. Just such a genuine stand-up guy. I met him and his family. We went to Chicago for a trip and we actually stayed at his parents' house for a couple of the nights because once again we were young, we were broke, like we needed a place to stay, and they were kind enough to let us stay there, and they were
that's so sweet,
wonderful.
Yeah.
But so I met his best man then, and then like we chatted a lot in between then, and I think that was honestly the only time I physically met him or was around him because everyone was in separate cities. And him and Smitty grew up relatively or very close, like throughout I think it was like college times. And
were they in the military together?
No.
Okay.
Smitty wasn't in the military, but
oh, that's right. Yes, I remember because he didn't have his uniform on.
Yeah. So I think it was Castro was in the wedding and he had his uniform on, and then Smitty had just the navy blue to blend in because that was the color that we ran with.
And I think that's I like to ask that because, I think I met Austin's best man who, I mean, obviously I have grown to love, and um I think I only met him a couple times because obviously,
Right.
like I said, we got married so fast. So it's
Right.
kind of fun to listen to, their speeches,
Yes.
because they don't know a whole lot about, who they're
Right.
marrying.
Right.
Um,
And
as
they
for
say a lot of like dirty little secrets that
right,
love to hear
right,
as the spouse.
right. As for, like your sister obviously knows you. Allie, she know me.
Yeah.
So it was kind of fun, it's fun to hear what they come up with.
Right.
Or what they don't, because, your speech doesn't have to really be about each other,
Right.
person's
Right.
getting married.
Right. Yeah. That, I wish I could say I remember all of the speeches.
I don't. Again, it was kind of something like I didn't black it out, but it just so much was going on.
Did you eat at your wedding?
Yes, I think I had a couple bites, but let me tell you about do you know the ranch story?
No.
I'm sure you heard it. Anyway,
Did I?
so you go taste your food and stuff like that. Austin and I came in town and we went to Mommy Bay and we were, food tasting and
I did not taste my food.
well,
Crawdaddy Express.
you guys had appetizers on Crawdaddy Express.
We only had booze.
I hope they had the good rum like in Puerto Rico on there.
Nope, just Crown and beer.
Ooh. So anyway, so Austin beforehand, we're a very big ranch family. I mean,
Yeah.
my God, if it's not good ranch, Hidden Valley, no, bye. I'm sorry. Don't sponsor us because you're the worst kind of ranch.
No, you can sponsor us still. You don't like Hidden Valley?
God, no. Have you had any good ranch?
Get
Clearly not.
Oh, all right.
So we just don't disagree with parenting. We disagree with ranch.
This is why we weren't in each other's weddings.
She would have told my people to get Hidden Valley Ranch. So anyway, so we're doing our taste testing and my parents are with us. And Austin said beforehand, well, oh my gosh, what happens if they don't have like good ranch? Oh, so his aunt at the time owned a bar in Colorado and she had amazing ranch. It was so good. And he asked her, he said, well, where do you get it? And I don't remember where she got it, some restaurant depot or something, where you get it. And
yeah,
he literally was going to ask the chef what type of ranch they had.
Stop.
Okay. I don't really get embarrassed.
Stop.
I don't get embarrassed a whole lot and I let things slide. When I knew that chef was coming to our table, I got up and I freaking went to the bathroom.
Hold on. You had a chef?
Well, like, the chef that comes out to like display the food. I don't know.
I don't know.
It all came with Mommy Bay. You should have got married at Mommy Bay and you would have had all this.
I know. That's my do-over is Mommy
Bay. Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, Austin decided until I got back from the bathroom, then he was going to ask, so what type of ranch do you use? Well, it was pretty much like Hidden Valley. So Austin decided he was going to say, well, if I bring my own ranch, will you serve it?
That's how you know you picked the right one.
Yeah, frick yeah. He likes good ranch. This is why we're married. Right? So anyway, fast forward to our wedding day. Our coordinator, the event coordinator, she
bougie.
Bless her heart. She wasn't nervous about the wedding at all. What she was nervous
about the ranch.
Was the freaking ranch to make sure it was okay for Austin. She literally put on our table like carrots and ranch, just carrots and ranch to make sure that he tried it.
Stop.
I swear to God. Although let's say
she deserved a bigger tip.
I know. Well, Mom, Dad, did you give her a bigger tip if you're listening?
Mom, Dad, did you?
But so the ranch was good. We don't have to worry about that. It was fantastic. You didn't do the worm at my wedding, did you?
I'm like
You did
90.
it at yours in your wedding dress.
I for sure did. I did it at mine. I did it at my best friend Morgan's. I did it at Shay's when I was the maid of honor. So aside from some good ranch, yeah, so we kind of wanted to transition into like the parent fails, mom fails, or what kind of killed your soul this week. So Kristin, what toddler tantrum and or what killed you this week do you want to share?
So it's been a week of tantrums, so I can't just pick
Love it.
one.
Love it.
But I'm gonna go with a kind of pull on my heart just because we've had tantrum week all week. My kid is literally a Sour Patch. He
Cut your
is
hair and then
so
love on you.
yeah, he's so sour, and then can be so freaking sweet. So one day he just comes up to me and hugs me and looks at me and goes, "I love you, Mom."
Oh,
How? Okay.
okay. I love you too.
Does that not make you want to break out and freaking cry? Just okay.
Yeah. But it also makes me want to be like, what's next?
Exactly. What do you want? I know there's a popsicle in that freezer. Is that what you want right now? Kid loves popsicles.
Same.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I just some of the stuff he is so sour, and then just will come up to you. Even today, we're dropping him off at daycare. And normally we wouldn't both go in, but since it's his first week, I wanted to kind of, help a little bit the transition. I normally don't drop him off. Austin will drop him off.
You guys are nice.
And he was kind of upset because he didn't get to drive this morning, so he was a little upset.
Wait, T-Time. Braxton was upset he didn't get to drive.
Yeah, he got out of his car seat and wanted to get in the driver's seat, and I said no, and I grabbed him out. So he was on the sidewalk crying. So I guess I get a heartfelt and a tantrum this week. So we take him in, and oh my God, we said, okay, bud, we'll see you later, blah, blah, blah. He gives me a hug and a kiss, and he looks at Austin, and he goes, no, I want to kiss your eye. And he kissed his eye.
Oh. Well, that's adorable. That is so cute.
I literally just want to cry all the time whenever
Did
he's
Austin
sweet.
shed a tear?
No, he just said, okay, bud.
What a bad dad. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
I shed a tear, for I shed a tear when he stopped calling me mommy. I was like, really? Now I'm old as fuck. He calls me mom.
Oh, Liv's
I
not
feel,
there yet.
I feel like I'm about
I'll
70
tack on
years
4
old.
months.
Yeah. 4 months from now, that will be your heartfelt pull strings.
Yeah.
Stop calling me mommy.
She kind of rotates between like mama, mommy, and mom, She knows my first name too, so she knows I'm Tara also, which is a little scary.
Braxton knows Austin, and he will repeat Austin, and I'm like, nope. Thank God he doesn't know my name.
Liv knows Matt and also Babe.
Oh, okay, well, Babe. That's cute. Okay. All right, let's hear from you. What do you got?
Okay, so Matt's birthday was this past weekend. And
happy birthday, Matt.
And we had his dad over, and I was trying to surprise him with like these crafts that we did. When I say we, I mean Liv. And it was like, cards we signed and a bag full of candies, blah, blah, blah. And we invited his dad over to, be there when he got home from his golf event that he was doing.
Did he know his dad was coming over?
Well, he wasn't supposed to, but then he texted me saying like, hey, can we invite my dad over tonight? I was like, already did.
Good. You should have just been like, yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, he was already basically over, so.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
Yeah. So we were trying to get Liv like wound down for bed, and we were trying to get her in like pajamas, right? And it
Mhm.
was just me and my father-in-law like home at this point. And I'm like, all right, Liv, here's your pajamas. I'm trying to hype her up for it and, get
Yeah.
cleaned up, whatnot. And I was like, God, this girl, it's not really a tantrum, but this girl would just refuse to get dressed. And as soon as she got like naked, it was free range and she was running throughout the house and
Didn't we
she thought it was
literally just have this conversation last week? You said, "Oh, Liv doesn't like to be naked."
yep, well that changed and she was running throughout the house and thought it was the funniest thing. And I was like, no, no, no. And so I'd like get her little, toddler underwear on and like get her pants on. And as soon as I would get her pants on, she would look at me, she would laugh at me, and then she would rip them off and run away. And I was like,
Oh, you're in that
yes.
stage. Have fun.
Were you in this 4 months ago?
She's gonna start hiding from you pretty soon too.
Oh, she does that also though. So it's kind of a nice little blend. But yeah, and then I was like, all right, Liv, we gotta go potty before we get like pajamas on. We gotta go. And she's like, okay. And she like walks to the potty and then like looks at you out of the side eye and then she like runs away. I'm like, well, I'm gonna get you.
Yes.
Yeah. And then side little like tantrum that she had, I think it was like two mornings later. We have these big pancakes and we have these little pancakes that we can microwave just for an easy breakfast type
Mhm.
thing. And she loves her syrup, so we're the best parents ever. And
My kid
so
eats
we had a
candy
bit
for breakfast, so whatever.
whatevs, surviving, not thriving. So whatevs. And so we had a big pancake and I ripped it into pieces just to cool it off faster. And
Right.
they were quarter size pieces, And she lost her shit that I broke the pancake because
Oh, yes.
because she was used to the little pancakes that we didn't break. And so the big pancake that we did break, she was so angry at me. And I was like, sorry, sorry. Throw my hands up in the air and like pull the pancake down. I'll cook you a new one. Like, just stop panicking.
Did you have
Yeah,
to make a new one?
I did. I did. And then by the time the new one cooked, she was over it and she didn't want any pancakes at that point. Yeah. Fortunately, her daycare offers her breakfast, but I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I don't know
Yeah.
what else to do for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Fine.
hey, just don't cut up the pancakes next time and you might be okay.
Lesson learned. Lesson learned. But anyways, with that being said, thank you all for joining us on today's podcast episode. Please reach out and share with us any stories and or let us know what you want us to talk about. If there's anything that you want to open the floodgates with and you don't want to personally do it and you want us to do it, let us know. You can, yeah, absolutely. You can all find us at loudmomslair@gmail.com if you just want to email us or message us on Instagram at loudmomslair podcast. And then you can even watch us now on YouTube if you prefer video. You can search Spotify or YouTube at Loud Moms Lair. And then, yeah, if you have any feedback, please push it to us. Let us know.
Thank you all again, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.